Hello students, this is Teen Kurali. Today I am going to take class 2, class 8 students. The topic is metals and non-metals. We know that metals are very usable. We are using in the daily life, iron, copper, all the metals we are using that. Even the utensils also made by metals only, iron. Okay, and then next stainless steel, we are using the copper bottom vessels. Then cooker also made up of aluminium. We are daily using these metals. About the metals, then characters of that. Then non-metals also we are using that. Even that copper, that sulfur, carbon, that are all non-metals. Okay, non-metals are so many metals we are using: iron, copper, aluminium, magnesium. That are all silver, even gold. We are using that ornaments. That are all called metals only. About that metals and non-metals, carbon, sulfur. That are all non-metals. About that only we are going to see in this lesson. What are the characteristics of that, then what are the chemical properties of metals and non-metals, then how it is react with that acid, water, oxygen, that are all we are seeing in this lesson. Next we are going to that. First we can able to see that metals. What are the physical properties? Physical means what is the meaning of that? No, physical properties. Physically, what are the properties it has? First, metals are already we know that iron, copper, aluminium, that are all solids. We know that matter are in three states: solid, liquid and gaseous state. But metals are always present in solids except mercury. Mercury we know that no, mercury we are using that is a liquid metal, one liquid metal in that. We are using this mercury in thermometer. Okay, especially we are using this in thermometer. Then metals are very hard. We know that we don't cut that easily. It's very hard except lithium, potassium and sodium. That metals are very soft compared to that other metals. Lithium, sodium, potassium. Then metals are very shine. Luster means nothing that shine. It look like shine. We know that pala irukonu solvangale, like that it is that. Okay, even that gold, silver, all already we know that we are seeing in that class. Then next one, metals are malleable. Malleable means what is that? No, to beaten into sheets. Nowadays we are seeing that all the beating terrace and all we can make that by using the roof and all make by metal sheets. Yes, no, that metals are malleable, make into thin sheets. சின்ன சின்ன தகரம்னு சொல்லுவாங்களே, தகடா மாத்தலாம் நம்ம ஈஸி. அதுதான் வந்து malleable அப்படினு சொல்லிட்டு சொல்லுவாங்க. The next one is what is it? No, metals are ductile. We know that all that metals wires we are using that we can call as ductile. Metal are drawn into wires. Copper wire, iron wire, we are using that in that electricity wire when the makeup of iron only inside that one. Even that AC refrigerator, that wires are made up of metals only. Copper wire also we are using that one. The next one, metals are high melting point. எவ்வளோ ஹீட் பண்ணாலும் என்ன மெல்ட்டே ஆகாது except gallium and cesium. Other metals are very high melting point. These gallium and cesium only we can keep in that our palm means it easily melt. That melting point is very less compared to that other metals. The next one, what is that? No, metals have high boiling point also. It will take, we can boil means no, it takes so much temperature. Temperature is very high, 1100 degrees Celsius also the iron cannot boil. That only utensils are made up of metals. Then metals are good conductors of heat. We know that heat, we are using that metals utensils. All that utensils made up of metals only. Don't use that plastic, rubber instead of that one. Okay, we are using metal only, utensils, all that. Okay, so that's why, because it conduct the heat, that's why. The next one, poor conductor, idhula pathina, which one is no? Lead and mercury. Lead to mercury matta pathina, it will make less heat only. It will conduct less heat only. Then metal, another one important point, what is it? No, good conductors of electricity. We know that all the electric wires, cables, are made up of, even that electric home appliances made up of that metals only. Best conductor, that means silver and copper. Silver and copper pathina mata iron, aluminium adella vida pathina which one is best means no, silver and copper. That's why AC la நம்ம pathina copper வந்து wire use பண்ணுவாங்க. Copper wire, that copper pipe and all they are using that. Then metal, finally we can that metals are sonorous. We don't touch that, we can touch that means it make a sound. That is called sonorous, make sound. Okay, so these are the properties of metal. What is the first one? Metals are solids, then metals are hard except lithium, potassium and sodium. Then third one, metals are luster, it look shine, that one. Then next one, malleable. Metals are malleable, it make it thin sheets. Thin sheets, தகரமா மாத்தலாம் நான் இவ்வளவு வேண்டாலும். Even that gold, especially gold, small piece of gold means we can take it that big size of plate like that. Okay, and that we can so malleable. That property is called as malleable or malleability. The next one is ductile. Make it thin wires. You know that all the wires are made up of metals only. Then high melting point. எவ்வளவுதா heat பண்ணா கூட melt ஆகாது, உருகாதுன்னு சொல்லுவாங்க அதுதான். Okay, except two metals. What is that? Gallium and cesium. These two metals are very low melting point. Even we are keeping in that palm means no, it will melt. That kind of capacity that gallium and cesium add. The next metals have high boiling point. எவ்வளவுதா heat பண்ணா கூட முன்ன அது boil ஆகாது. அந்த மாதிரி high boiling point. Then it conducts good conductors of heat. Heat வந்து conduct பண்ணுமா. It will allow the heat to pass through them. That is called conductors. Then it is also conduct the electricity also. Electricity conduct. That's why all the wires, electric wires made up of metals. Then metals finally, what is that? No, metals are sonorous. Make the sound. We can go and touch that means no. We know that electric bell and all made up of metal only. Okay, make that sound one. So that is sonorous. So these are the properties of metals. Then next one is what is that? No, I told that non-metals is opposite to the metals. Metal opposite is non-metals. Non-metals means. So non-metals may be solid, liquid, gas. 3 states la irukum. Solid edhu pathina namakku carbon, sulfur. Then phosphorus also present in solid state. Okay, solid carbon we know that in our body, in our all that organisms having that carbon. Then sulfur also we know that we are using that in that medicines. Then even that crackers and all we are using that. Then phosphorus where we are using means no, we are using the matchstick use pannom. Then next one liquid, bromine எந்த ஸ்டேட்ல இருக்குனா liquid state ல இருக்கும். Then gases ல பத்தினா important that one, oxygen, hydrogen, nitrogen, these are present air. Oxygen, without that oxygen we can't live. We know that no, that is that present in that oxygen. All the living organisms need these 3 things, especially plants also need that one. Okay, nitrogen. Then next non-metals are soft except one thing. What is that? No, diamond. We know that diamond is very costly thing. This is only hardest substance. We know that diamond cuts diamond அப்படினு சொல்லுவாங்க. வைரத்தால தான் வெட்ட முடியும் சொல்லுவாங்க இல்லையா, அதுதான். So diamond தான் வந்து பாத்தீங்கன்னா hardest non-metal. மத்த non-metals எல்லாம் வந்து சாஃப்ட்டா இருக்கும் நமக்கு. Then next one, non-metals do not luster. பார்க்க பளபளனே இருக்காது, டல்லா தான் இருக்கும். எப்பவுமே பாத்தீங்கன்னா கார்பன், சல்ஃபர் எல்லாம் எடுத்தீங்கன்னா பாத்தீங்கன்னா எப்படி இருக்கும்? கார்பன் we know that it is in present in black கலர்ல இருக்கும் நமக்கு. Okay, so the luster பளபளன் இருக்கவே இருக்காது. The next one what is na? It's not malleable. Malleable what I told already, I told that no, we cannot make it to thin sheets. Thin sheets ஆ மாத்த முடியாது. Non-metals do not ductile. Wires ஆவும் மாத்த முடியாது நம்மனால. Then another one thing, no, these non-metals is not having that low melting point. It has low melting points, low boiling point also. Then it does not conduct heat and electricity. That's why we can call as that one bad conductors of heat and electricity, except graphite. We know that graphite, about graphite, where we can use that graphite, especially we are using that pencil. Lead of the pencil, it is made up of graphite. You can take 2 pencils lead, we can connect with wire, okay, make that, it conduct electricity. So that's why we can say that except graphite, other non-metals are bad conductors or insulators. It does not conduct electricity as well as heat. That's why we don't use the carbon, sulfur, phosphorus எல்லாம் நம்ம ஹீட் பண்றது யூஸ் பண்றது, எலக்ட்ரிசிட்டியும் கண்டக்ட் பண்ணா. Then another one thing, no, non-metals are not sonorous. Sound வந்து it does not make sound. So these are the physical properties of non-metals. We know that no, metals க்கு அப்படியே slightly opposite to that properties of non-metals. Metals க்கு எதெல்லாம் properties இருக்கோ அதெல்லாம் வந்து non-metals க்கு இருக்காது. Malleable இருக்காது, ductile கிடையாது, high melting point அதல பார்த்தா நம்ம இதல low melting point, low boiling point. Next one, it is not conduct the heat and electricity, then it does not have the sonorous property. So these are the physical properties of non-metals. Now you can say that difference between metals and non-metals. Yes, no children? Yes. So next one we can able to see that chemical property. Physical nale next what we can see that no, chemical. What is the chemical properties? Reaction in between 2 substances. Okay, especially now we can see that metals, chemical properties of metals. Reaction with oxygen. What is that formula for oxygen? O2. Now we can take an example here. Metals always react with oxygen to form metal oxides. எப்பவுமே வந்து metal வந்து oxygen react பண்ணி என்ன it change into metal oxide. Now we can take an example 2 metals, copper and aluminium. Okay, first we can take that copper. What is the formula for copper? Cu. This carbon, copper combined with oxygen, it change into copper oxide. So that when the equation that 2Cu plus O2 gives 2CuO. Copper react with oxygen, it gives copper oxide. So that is called metal. Metal react with oxygen, metal oxide. The next one, what is that now? Aluminium. The same as well as aluminium is heated with oxygen, it change into aluminium oxide. So that equation that 4Al. Al means what is that? Aluminium. Oxygen, then it change into 2Al2O3. So it change into aluminium oxide. From this equation we can identify, we can observe that one. Metals react with oxide, it gives metal oxide, change into metal oxides. Okay, then next one, how the metal react with water? We know that what is the formula for water? What is very essential? We can keep water in that metal vessels only. Okay, so water formula H2O. So metals react with water to form metal oxides or metal hydroxide. Metal hydroxide OH. Hydroxide means no OH, and hydrogen also it gives. So many formulas, so many equations they given. First we can able to see that sodium. What is the formula for sodium? Symbol for sodium Na. So sodium react with water, it gives sodium hydroxide and hydrogen. Okay, 2Na plus 2H2O gives 2NaOH plus H2. So metal react with water, it change to metal hydroxide, sodium hydroxide, and it gives hydrogen gas. The same as well as potassium also. Potassium react with water, it gives potassium hydroxide and hydrogen. Then next one, Ca means what is that? Calcium. Ca react with water, it change to calcium hydroxide and hydrogen. Then aluminium, Al reacts with water, it change to, here see that aluminium oxide. That's why here they given metal oxides or metal hydroxides. So these two metals react with water, it change to metal oxides. Aluminium react with water, it change to aluminium oxide. Then what is my Fe? Fe means what is that? Iron. Yes, this is symbol of iron. Then iron react with water, it change into iron oxide. Then as well as hydrogen gas. So from that we can identify, we can observe that when metal react with water, it gives metal oxides or metal hydroxides. And another one, what is the gas? Generally that hydrogen. So this is a reaction with metal with water. Then next one we can say that reaction of metals with metal salt solutions. How it will happen that? We know that more reactive metal always replaces less reactive metal from its salt solution. Okay, why? What is that, ma'am? Why I can say that this reaction we can call as displacement. Displacement naale theriyum. Onnu vandu nonnu maathradhu adudha. Okay, ரொம்ப நல்லா படிக்கிற பையன் வந்து பாத்தீனா நல்லா படிக்காத பையனுக்கு எப்படி சொல்லி தரோனோ அந்த மாதிரி like that we can say that no. So more reactive metal displaces less reactive metal from its salt solution. ஒரு காம்படிட்டிவ் எக்ஸாம்ல ஒருத்தன் நல்லா படிக்கிறான் அப்படினு பாத்தீனா ஒருத்தன் நல்லா படிக்கிறான் அப்படினா அவன் என்ன பண்ணுவான் நல்லா படிக்கிற பசங்களோட ரீப்ளேஸ் பண்ணி உட்கார வைப்பாங்க இல்லையா அது மாதிரி தான். So that why magnesium displaces copper from copper sulfate solution. So because magnesium is high reactive than copper, so here these magnesium react with copper sulfate, that means CuSO4, that is copper sulfate, it change into this copper, this magnesium replaces the copper, so it change into MgSO4 plus Cu. So that only happen here. Okay, the same as well as next one, zinc. Zinc displaces copper from copper sulfate solution. Here this zinc replaces copper, so it change to ZnSO4, zinc sulfate plus Cu. Then next one, iron. Iron also displaces copper from copper sulfate solution. So from this we can observe that one more reactive metal replaces less reactive metal. Here they given the diagram, see that here magnesium, the reactant is copper sulfate solution, this one inside that I can pour that magnesium powder here. What happens, see that colorless magnesium, this blue color change into colorless. Why? Where it happened that? Any magical there? See that this magnesium replaces the copper from the copper sulfate solution, it change into colorless magnesium sulfate மாறினால உங்களுக்கு என்னது கலர்லெஸ்ஸா இருக்கு, காப்பர் வந்து கீழ போய் பாட்டம்ல போய் செட்டில் ஆயிடுது பீசஸா. So this is a reaction. The same as well as we can take that copper sulfate solution, I can take this in blue color, I can put one iron nail, iron nail போடுறேன் ஆணி okay இரும்பு ஆணி எடுத்து போடுறேன் after 1 week not we can take immediately it will take some time so it will change into green color solution blue வந்து என்ன மாறிச்சு green color மாறிச்சு oh what happened means no these blue colors copper sulfate solution change to green iron sulfate because these iron I told that no these iron replaces the copper from the copper sulfate solution change into iron sulfate here happened that one. So these copper settle on the deposit on the iron nail மேல போய் deposit ஆயிட்டு இருக்கும் அந்த iron nail. So these only happen. What is name of this reaction called as displacement reaction. More reactive metal displaces less reactive metal. This experiment that one. Okay, and the next one reactivity. How that I told that no more reactive metal. How can you say that by using this reactivity series of metal, the arranging of metals in the decreasing order. See that here we can say that first one K means what is that? Potassium. Potassium is a more reactive metal than others. This is the order of that. First one potassium, then sodium, calcium, magnesium, aluminium, then zinc Zn, then Fe iron, then Pb lead, then next one hydrogen H hydrogen, Cu copper, then Hg means what is that? Mercury, then Ag silver, then finally only gold. So this is a decreasing order reactivity. So more reactive எதுன்னு பார்த்தீங்கன்னா potassium எது கூட வேணாலும் react பண்ணிட்டே இருக்கும் faster. ஆனால் gold வந்து பார்த்தீங்கன்னா less reactive, that is called least reactive metal. So that's why we are using that ornaments. Okay, அதுதான் வந்து பார்த்தீங்கன்னா எது கூட react பண்ணாது. அதே போல silver. Okay, but compared to that other metals which is least means no gold only very least reactive ரொம்ப வந்து பார்த்தீங்கன்னா கொஞ்சமா தான் react பண்ணும் அதுதான் வந்து reactivity series. Reaction is nothing but the arranging of metals in the decreasing order of the reactivity அதனுடைய reaction வச்சு இத ஆர்டர் பண்றாங்க. That series we can call as reactivity series of metals. Can you understand children now? Then next one non-metals. I told that no metals also react and non-metals also react with oxygen. Here non-metals react with oxygen to form non-metallic oxide. Metal oda metal oxides varo. Adhe pol non-metals vanduna non-metallic oxides. Okay, here take an example sulfur. Sulfur reacted with oxygen it gives sulfur dioxide SO2. The same as well as carbon. Carbon symbol in the C. Carbon reacted with oxygen it gives carbon dioxide. So S plus O2 gives SO2, C plus O2 gives CO2. So what you can observe from these non-metal react with oxygen it gives non-metallic oxides. The next one reaction with water. Non-metal does not react with water. Ma'am, what does that means? No, because they may be very reactive in air. Non-metals are stored in water. Okay, store பண்ணி வெச்சுக்கலாம் நம்ம. Phosphorus is a very high reactive non-metal. We can take it out from that means no தண்ணில இருந்து வெளிய எடுத்துட்டு automatically it will catches fire. அதனால always that phosphorus kept in water only. Okay, it's very high reactive non-metal. Okay, that's why phosphorus always store in water. Okay, this is important one thing. Phosphorus, which metal kept stored in water means no phosphorus only. While taken out from that water means no phosphorus catches fire. It's very important one thing. Then reaction with acid. Non-metal does not react with acid. Okay, so from that we can identify what are the physical properties and chemical properties of metals as well as non-metals. Okay children, thanks for watching students. Thank you.